Good morning. I woke up with the thought to discuss seances. Now, mind you, of course, everything is different for everyone. And this, of course, is only about my experiences in life. So, we met Reverend Ruth Zitlow when I was 15, I think, because I started doing readings at 16. We always did dreaming before then. Mother was a dreamer. That was her gift. So she taught us how to do that. Someone would come, to the house, and they would say, Edith, I would like to know the answer to my interview on Wednesday. So Mother would drink her warm water. She'd read Daniel. I don't know which chapter, verse, or whatever. And she would go to bed. She'd wake up the next morning and she'd call them and say, you're to wear this, his name is this, you're going to this company, right? And da-da-da-da. So that's how we originally learned. We were dreamers. And then, of course, as anything goes, progress goes, rather, excuse me, you do things different ways or have different techniques. So everybody, of course, had their own techniques, except Brenna. She didn't want to learn any of that stuff. So she was afraid of it, I believe, which is understandable. A lot of people are afraid to use their gifts. Anyway, I digress. So we went, my brother found Reverend Zitlow somehow. Thank you, Irvin. And when I met her, it was like, the only way I know to describe it is like, maybe, I don't know, maybe like meeting Jesus for the first time. Do I have enough light? I think so. Here, we'll do this. Better? Because she just had this glow. She was one of those grandma types, with the big boobs and a slight belly. She wasn't skinny, but she wasn't a large woman. She was just radiant, Anyway, so we started going to... No, it's not that. Oh, man. I forgot the name of the church. It's been so long. Anyway, we started going to her church. And it was really interesting because now that I'm older looking back, she didn't run her church like anybody ever ran a church, I'm telling you. And come to find out, she was a part of the association, the National Spiritualist Association. And I didn't know that. And I say that because having gone to Church of Two Worlds, and there's a huge church in San Francisco, and it's run like a business. You can't do that. Tasha, you can't get up and give your readings just because, Spirit told you to give a reading. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You have to be a member to do, before you can do this, this, and this. And then once you're a member, you have to be in these classes to go to school to read. Oh my goodness. I'm not knocking it for everybody. But some things just aren't meant to, like... Anyway, that's just how I believe. So we started going to Reverend Zitlow's church, and, she would always say, does anybody have any, thing to say before, we four on the pulpit thing. It was the most beautiful church. When you go in the church, imagine, okay, so there's a door here, of course there's a door here, and then her house. So you go in the church, and it was a big spiritualist church. I couldn't believe it. It was, of course, I'm looking back, because usually spiritualist churches are like, in somebody's house where there's like 10 people. This was a big church. It would easily sit 150, 200 people. And there was all the paintings and stuff, just like the Catholic church on top. It was so beautiful. So you'd walk in, and the pulpit is like over there, and it's 2 stairs up, right? So the pulpit was actually like, I don't know, 4.5 feet off the floor. So, and she would do her thing, and then the other little old lady, she would sing, and then we'd all sing, you know, and then it'd be time for readings, and she'd say, before we get started, the four on the panel, on the pulpit thingy, whatever you want to call it, and she'd say, Edith, do you want to, and then my mom, okay, let me see, and she'd say, can I come into your vibration? And we wait for you to say yes, because that's how Granny taught us. Unless you're giving a one-on-one reading, of course. So anyway, and we go and we all take turns. So that's how that church was. Totally different than any church I've been to in my entire life. Because Granny was just so warm and open that way, and that's how she taught us to be. Is you have a right to charge for your living, but not to be greedy. That's still not a very nice thing. I won't say a good thing. It's not a very nice thing. So that's how I was raised. So we go up to the church, to the top of the church, where Granny walled off, boarded up all the windows, and there's a little tiny table there. Okay, it might have been about this big, just big enough to set the tape recorder on. And I'm telling you that my Granny was an intertransitory medium, which means the spirit came through and used her vocal cords to sound exactly like your mom, your dad, your whatever. Anybody, yeah, you would be like, honey, or mom. No, it's grandma, but their voice came through her voice box clearly. Okay, anyway, so she would do a prayer for protection. We didn't hold hands because she said if anything negative came into her, it wouldn't be right to pass it around. So that's why we did not hold hands. We did sit in a circle. She did the prayer for protection, and she told her joy guide, Lily, one of those, go, Butterfly, I'm sorry, Butterfly, go and get everybody and tell them, you know, we're here, come in. And of course you're sitting in pitch black, you can't see anything, so Grandma came in and we're like, Nana, how you doing, Nana? Child, I'm having a hard time taking care of all y'all, you know, because that's how